I almost wanted to start this video off by saying my word. But it's not my word. It's the word of the Lord. But chapter 28 of Deuteronomy. Oh my. The blessings that the Lord gives. It's interesting because the blessing part, it doesn't seem as long as the cursing part. No, actually, there's the blessing, was it on Mount Ebal? Or, I can't remember. And I was even there. I got a chance to go to Israel, and I was upon Mount Ebal and Mount, I can't all of a sudden think of the other mount. Gerizim? Gerizim? Is that right? Gerizim. A blessing on Mount Gerizim. Ebal. I remember right. It's Ebal. Sounds like evil. Yeah, to curse. But actually, the blessings and the cursings were parallel. I mean, they were like, okay, blessed is this and that. Okay, but once we hit the Lord's curse, whoa. I just had some thought that crossed my mind as I read this too. I remember the If and When video that I made for my iCartoon 2 channel, where it says, the Lord says, when thou comest into the land, which I shall give thee, this shall happen, and God was establishing it. But they were saying, if a man will do this and that, like he wasn't going to establish what an individual is that the difference? I'm just thinking, because here when we read, but anyway, the point is what, lest I not finish it, when it says if, like if a man strike another man that he die, if and when. When is something God ordains, if is something that God does not ordain. It's usually the evil things that individuals maybe, that's the difference, because here the Lord is saying, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates and thy high and fenced walls, and come down, he shall, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body. This is why I say, oh my. See, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness. I don't know. I don't know if there's any whens here, but he's saying shalt. God knew this was going to happen. God didn't ordain it. It was from all the ifs that occurred, of all the ifs, of all the things that God didn't ordain, that individuals did, and what they didn't do, which was obeying the word of the Lord. That God knew that was going to happen, and so he was saying, this is going to happen. So this is something that's a terrible revelation. I mean, it's something that doesn't express these things when you're reading about the carrying away into Babylon. But they ate of their own flesh, their own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege and in the straitness. This actually occurred. The gentlest among them were turned to where the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward the daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Folks, as bad as this world is getting to be, as the Lord's getting near his return, oh, I hope it doesn't get that way to be with Christians. That the Lord doesn't put these curses on us before he takes us home. Things are bad, but That shows you how bad it can get. Let's continue. To call him the Lord, thy God, so that the Lord doesn't plague us, but more so, let's continue to stay in his word, to let it cleanse us from all unrighteousness.